The solar plexus chakra marks such an important point on someone's awakening journey because it really stands for you becoming interested in awareness itself. Now, before, when we look at all of spirituality, and actually still about 90% of spirituality is about the transformation of the personal self. It is always about the kind of patterns you're having, the kind of conditioning you're having, and how to replace one kind of mostly negative conditioning with something better, with a better form of conditioning, a better form of identity, a better form of pattern, a better form of behavior. And a lot of spirituality is involved in this kind of betterment or this kind of improvement or empowerment of the personal structure, of the personal self. But what happens on your awakening journey is really at some point you have to become interested not just in improving your construct, but in actually the transcending of the construct, the transcending of all these nuances and all these betterments, and in finding that in you, which is actually already perfected. And so it is a complete turnaround from a continuous trying to achieve something or trying to strive for something to a discovery, the discovery of you as awareness. And so it's very, very different to you being aware as a person, to the discovery of yourself being awareness itself. It is really the uncovering of yourself as pure presence, the uncovering of that in you that you are before all these constructs come into being. And so there is also a complete shift in this solar plexus, in this third density, is a complete shift from the understanding what is the ego. Now, as long as we are focused with our attention on our identity, then the ego is all about you being prideful or arrogant or all these kind of things that you are then trying to somehow ameliorate or make better or change. And the ego itself, for someone that's interested in self-realization, is something else completely. It is your seat of identity as such. It isn't a specific pattern that you presume is somehow negative. It is simply the whole idea of being a person in a body that you are starting to actually inquire within, and that you're asking yourself about, and that you're becoming aware that this is somehow false, or that this is somehow not the reality of the self that you're seeking. And so the ego construct is actually all the ideas, like the whole conglomerate of belief structures, the whole conglomerate of what you believe you are at a moment of time. All of that is actually thought. All of that is actually mental impression. All of that is actually mind stream. And so in this chakra, you are starting to really investigate. It is actually the start of an inquiry that wants to find out who you are, and that starts to negate all these layers of beliefs, all these layers of conditioning. And it is a negation and the finding finding of I am, like what you are before you add anything onto you. And how this is then done, how self-inquiry is done. This is all part and parcel of the exploration that can happen in this third density to actually come into the transparency of the heart, the transparency of yourself. And so it is a really, really pivotal step on your chakra journey to turn away from what you have done before, and what also held obviously some importance for you to change ideas about yourself, to become more positive, to have more positive behavioral mechanisms to change this. But at this point, the person is really tired of all the spiritual improvements, all the self-empowerments, all these kind of nuancing and changing and ameliorating and bettering and having a new identity of the person. And it is really about seeing, wow, I'm none of this. So how can I discover myself beyond all these adopted or assumed versions of myself as what I truly am? And so this is this chakra journey.